How would you go about, Jared says, about ranking a local company with 8 locations, but a very small SEO budget of 1 to 2K per month? What would be the best? Where would the money be best spent? Well, it depends on how the website is configured for the locations. This is right in line with what I was showing you guys earlier with the multi-location stuff, and also with Ken's question about multi-locations in an e-commerce site. Is the 8 locations all inner pages of the main site? Are they subdomains or are they standalone domains? Because depending on what the answer would be, would determine on how I would recommend what I would recommend doing. The reason I like doing what I do with these Felling Pro sites right now currently is because as I just talked about before, we focus on mainly topical links to the root domain. It's just this one page, right? And that pushes link equity with proper topical relevance to each of these subdomain sites. And then on the subdomain sites, we hit them with more geographic links than we do topical links, because it's inheriting the topical relevance from the root domain. And so if you have a multi-location site where it's all inner pages, then it changes things slightly, because it gets a little bit tricky when you start building links with geographic relevance to particular location pages as if it's all part of the root domain, because I've experienced just some kind of strange things that occur with that. But with the subdomain sites, each subdomain site is treated as an individual site, right? Although it inherits link authority and relevance from the parent domain, Google treats each site as a separate site. And so since it's its own contained site, then we can hit it with geographically relevant links, and those are all relevant to that site, because that whole site is built around one specific location or service area. So geographic links that are relevant to that area would be relevant to any of those pages in that site. Whereas when you build geographic links to a multi-location site that all of the locations are inner pages, then that can pollute a little bit the location relevance of other pages, if that makes sense, other locations. It can, okay? Just I've seen some weird things occur with that. So that's why, again, that's part of the reason I like the subdomain sites. But the way that the question is asked, I'm not sure what the configuration is, guys, and that would change what I would recommend. But typically it's going to be each location should have its own set of branded assets. I recommend usually its own ID page, location specific branded assets. So the overall brand can have branded assets for the brand that are location neutral. And then each location can have another set of branded assets, ID page, batch geomaps, etc., that are all optimized for that specific location, right? And then you want proper local SEO, local business schema on each location, landing page for each location that then references same as attributes, has its own dedicated ID page, linking from Google Business Post to those branded and supporting assets from each of those separate locations. All the things that I just mentioned a moment ago, just to push branding, guys. Again, for a multi-location business, you guys should be pushing brand authority more than anything. And then it makes the other SEO efforts, you need less of the other SEO components if you push enough authority into the brand, which is what I was demonstrating here, right? I'm showing you guys that by building authority to the brand, when you launch subdomain sites or additional sites as part of that brand, right? So whether it's in the root domain or subdomains, it doesn't matter. Each time you deploy another site as part of that brand, it should perform faster and better, like a little bit faster and a little bit better. Because every single time you deploy another site, as long as you end up building more links and things like that, you're accruing link equity and authority and relevance to the root domain, which then the subdomains or subsequent sites that are launched from the same, or subsequent locations launched from the same domain, are going to instantly inherit that authority. Does that make sense? And so again, you reach kind of a critical mass or a tipping point where that's why I love doing these, because I can just show several examples of just the way that these projects are just growing very, very rapidly. I don't know if I showed this one, but if we take a look at this one, like this year, show you again this one, you can see, look at how it's climbing. And I don't think there's any links built to this one direct, right? So that's what I would do. Again, I would focus in on build the foundation for the brand first for each location. I always recommend that, guys. So get branded assets. Semantic links we provided done for you. Branded asset service. It's $299, but it provides 15 Web 2.0s, all interlinked, ID page, batch geomap, press advantage organization page, G site, all of those things that are then interlinked, and those branded assets are then embedded or referenced within the ID page. And I would recommend getting that for each branded location first. Now you've got the foundational elements that then you could build links to. That's clear. If you ever need, we do offer competitive link analysis, Jared, where I can analyze that more thoroughly for you on a location by location basis if needed. You can always check that out.